Hello and welcome to the first round of the final Grudge Match tournament, the top 32 here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On the left-hand side of your screen, we've got Chris Lachmann facing off against Lawrence Creech. On the right-hand side of your screen, I'm Ben Swartz, soon to be joined here in the booth by Brian David Marshall and perhaps some other commentators, but we've already started game one here. Looks like Chris Lachmann's on a Solar Flare deck. We're also joined in the booth by Ray Punzalon.
Hello, everybody.
And as we saw last round, Lawrence Creech is on a Bant Pod deck, so it looks like...
And now we saw that last round, but that was not only last round, that was last tournament.
Yeah.
Players had the opportunities to make changes to their decks, tinker with them, maybe if
they
someone...
have to turn in brand new deck list.
Right. Maybe if someone they know had a really good deck that they didn't get a chance to play with, they could even just borrow that deck.
Yep.
There's definitely a little bit of scrambling around going on.
We see a quick birthing pod come out for Lawrence.
So that's good. Here. This is traditionally meant Blade Splicer for him from what we've seen.
Yep.
Unless he's made some changes. Nope, and there it is.
I can only imagine him really making changes to his sideboard, right?
Yeah.
A couple slots.
I'm still surprised not to see the White Faceless Butcher. Excuse me. Seems like a good addition.
And I'm not quite sure how much Lachmann switched his deck, but I think Lachmann's team, actually, in the team competition, didn't make top four. They missed it. They got the fifth place.
Oh, ouch.
I believe the team leaders who are in the top four, there's Steve Saden's team, there's Gerard Fabiano, Ben Lundquist, Dan Jordan, there's Drew Levin's team, and there's one other team. I believe it includes Kenny Castor's team. But
so Chris Doombladed the Blade Splicer just to slow down the birthing pod here.
Yeah, the chain.
Break the chain.
But, I mean, Lawrence Creech has a huge mana advantage already over Lachmann.
Hello, Thrun.
Who needs a chain, right? We have Thrun here.
I mean, Lachmann's not completely out of the game. If he draws a land, he's got a Day of Judgment I see in his hand.
You keep forgetting that Thrun just... Nothing bad happens to it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, actually, though, he could potentially... some combination of Wrath and Liliana.
Yeah, I mean...
Ben SW's favorite card, Forbidden Alchemy.
Okay, you know what, guys?
Do you need some foil ones?
If somebody ships me 4 foil Forbidden Alchemies, I will play that deck at the next Standard Tournament I attend.
You're going to play that deck at the next Standard Tournament?
No, you're just trying to get 4 free foil Forbidden Alchemies.
Message me on Twitter. DM me on Twitter at BenSW. Or at _BenSW. If you want to help me play Soulfire, I need a little push.
Over there, so we'll get that life totals pretty soon.
Chris Lachmann is on a clock right now.
So draws a Doomblade for his turn. Not much good there.
Actually, I think Thrun is actually probably good in this format. He was really, really bad before because of all the Squadron Hawks. But I think now that maybe this is time for Thrun to shine. I mean, like, it's just so difficult for these Solar Flare decks to deal with him, right? Like, all of their removal, like Doomblade doesn't work against him, Day of Judgment doesn't work against him. The only thing they really have is Liliana.
Yeah.
And if you have, a couple other creatures, maybe the Pilgrim, the new mana guy, or some other Birds of Paradise, that kind of stuff, and just a green aggressive deck, maybe Thrun's the real deal now.
Doomblade takes out the token now.
So now we're in a position where Liliana could be good unless there's another creature in the future.
Ooh, some end of turn action. What could possibly happen?
I think we're just going to see 3 creatures get cashed in for a Scab Ruinator.
Oh, never mind. It was on the main phase.
There you go, Scab Ruinator, the 5/6 flyer for only 3 mana. I really like that guy.
I will mana leak that. Oh no. Oh god.
This could turn out bad if
this
Lawrence
could turn out to be terrible.
Depending if Lawrence sees it. It was a close one, Coach, right?
I don't get it. Why didn't he pay?
And here's Liliana, gets rid of Thrun.
Either way, Thrun was dead, so...
Yeah.
Chris stabilizing here at 10 life. See if Lawrence has 7 mana now, but no creatures.
No Sun Titan into Scab Ruinator.
Oh, wow, that's sick.
Yes, it is.
How do you return Scabronator from your graveyard to your hand?
You don't return it to your hand. You can just play it if it's in your graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, like, if I'm playing a Dredge deck, I can play that guy?
Yeah.
Insane. Wow.
Yeah, you just cast them. Leaving Ring on Birthing Pod.
Okay, now
I've been quick to count Creech out in previous games. But, I mean, this doesn't look good.
I mean, if he's got, like, 3 cards in hand like he does, and none of them are creatures, like, what else could they be?
In his previous list, I think he was playing, let's see, what was he playing? Maybe Oblivion Rings?
He had a negate, but I think that was in the side.
Yeah, that was through his sideboard.
He's got...
So I'm waiting for the judges to finish sorting out deck lists, and then I'm going to give you a rundown of what the metagame looks like in our top 24. And I think we'll probably try to do a little bit of a quick metagame breakdown for maybe even the whole field.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 32 players, right?
Yeah.
So Chris grabs a Merfolk Looter, brings it back with, I forget the name, the Zombify flashback one.
Unburial.
Rites.
There you go.
Phyrexian Metamorph copying Looter.
I think these are the least exciting things we've seen on
Tree
Burial's
of
Rights.
Redemption.
Ooh.
That card doesn't seem very good against the Solar Flare decks.
I mean, if you're at 2,
Sun Titan picked up for Chris, but he doesn't have a land to go with it.
They just Doomblade it.
sure.
How much does Tree cost? 4?
Yes.
So Chris could loot his Sun Titan away and then Unburied Rights it back. Or he could loot and try to get the land and hardcast it.
Yeah, why wouldn't he just Unburial Rights it?
Draw land. Up.
Get back Liliana. Make everybody
This is
discard.
So filthy.
Get rid of the Phyrexian Metamorph too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I know there was discussion when Liliana was spoiled of how good it actually was.
But it's better than that.
Yeah.
Everybody was doubting me. At the Pro Tour, I'm like, Liliana's insane. And people are like, I don't know, Ben. You know.
That's silly, Ben.
People are so used to cards being hyped up that they just assume that when they see a good card that something's got to be wrong with it or it's never going to live up to that potential. But it's a 3-mana planeswalker.
Yeah, that's what I kept
that
saying.
Kills a creature. We've seen it kill Thrud multiple times.
Here we go. Bolivian Ring. It's going to take out Sun Titan. So that was one of the cards Lawrence was keeping in his hand.
Alright, so Chris just has his Merfolk
See
Looter
now,
and Liliana.
now I want to just notice these are like M12 Merfolk Looters.
Yeah,
nice.
Let's see how much
they're not as
attacking.
cool.
Let's see how much attacking these guys do.
Look at it, looks so innocent. Just wants to draw cards, hang out, go for a swim.
Vogue. It's like some jaunty, like twist of the hips there.
This Merfolk Looter just doesn't know how to attack.
He does not know how to loot.
Barely knows how to loot. So Chris lays a land. Now he has a Day of Judgment in hand too.
And looks like
Oblivion Ring for Oblivion Ring. Sun Titan for...
So I was talking to Drew Levin about his
Snapcaster
losses
hand.
that knocked him out of the top 24.
Yeah.
He said that both of the times he lost to cards that made spirit tokens. So he lost to Moorland Haunt, which is the land that you can remove a creature,
Yeah.
exile a creature from your graveyard, and make a spirit token. And he lost to an opponent who played Doom Trap.
Is that the...
It's a 1/1 for 1 that when it dies, you put a spirit token into play. And basically, his opponent played what looked like the shell of a claw deck. You know, like swords and some creatures and whatever. But like biased his deck in such a way that he was never going to get boned on a creature he really needed to protect with Liliana. So they would activate Liliana and sacrifice a creature, then, well, I'm just going to sacrifice Doom Traveler, and I'll still have a token, and my other guy's alive. Or I could just churn out a 1/1 spirit token off all the guys in my yard and protect this guy that I really want to protect.
Oh, that sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So here we see the power of Snapcaster Mage. Chris Lachmann played Oblivion Ring to get his opponent's Oblivion Ring, to bring back Sun Titan, to bring back his Snapcaster Mage, to use Snapcaster Mage on his Forbidden Alchemy, and do a bunch of crazy stuff there. So that was one of the cards that, before we saw Ben Lundquist didn't have in his deck. He hated the card. He was disgusted with it. But Chris Lachmann seems to be using it to some good effect
he
here.
loves it.
And looks like he's going to take off the first game here.
You get so much more reach with that card.
Chris Lachmann.
And then you get a look at the Pro Tour San Diego champion. Really half a champion.
But it's not half of a store, channelfireball.com. If you need any singles, including Innistrad singles, Channel Fireball has you covered. They have all Innistrad singles in stock at the lowest prices. So go to channelfireball.com for all of your singles needs.
And there's Chris Lachmann again.
Go to Chris Lachmann for all your...
The good doctor.
Yep.
So I was talking to Patrick
Not
Sullivan
actually a
there,
doctor.
and he was really high into Noble, the red Noble. I forget.
Yeah, of course
its
he
name.
is.
So he went up to all the dealers and just bought them all out. Everyone who had it at $4 or less are in his possession now. There's 2 other dealers with some left, but I think they have them at $6 now.
Okay.
Might be a little tip, or it might be his super love for red.
I have a secret stock tip from Brian Kibler. I don't know if I should share it. The 1 in a green, or 2 in one in a green card, tap it, deal 2 damage to target creature with flying?
Daybreak Ranger.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Is that a rare?
It is.
Okay.
I had that in my seal deck. Yesterday I splashed for it. It was really hard to lose any games where you draw. It's good. It's good even if it never flips.
Oh, this is doing it flips.
What?
I didn't even know it flips.
Yeah, it's just like 2 damage to target creature with flying.
Okay.
Or if it flips, it becomes a 4/4 with fight.
All right. I
So
like
it's
this guy.
Let's contested cliffs. Let's go.
I got a 4/4. What do you got?
Contested cliffs was so good.
Yeah, how good was Contested Cliffs, Rusty?
So good. My favorite card ever.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite
Especially
cards.
with Spirit.
Well, Spirit Marker is actually his favorite card. But
Yeah, okay. I see how it is with him.
It's like, I don't know, it's like if your favorite food in the world is Oreos, the milk to my Spirit Monger is definitely Contested Cliffs.
That sounded disgusting. I'm just going to tell you. I don't think we should be talking about milking spirit mongers on the GG's live feed, okay?
it reminds me, I was at a tournament in Seattle.
Oh, I don't want to hear this.
I was at a tournament in Seattle, and Patrick Sullivan comes up and he's like, "Yo, Ben, you gotta go see this." And he's like, he leads me over to a table with a guy, and he has his cards down on the
please
table.
don't tell me this is Conley.
No, it's not Conley. His cards are down on the table. I'm like, what's so funny? He picks up his cards, and he starts fanning them out. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Spirit Mongers in his hand. And his opponent has Jace, the Mind Sculptor, and Crucible World's Wasteland Lock. And he's just sitting there. You can see the look of anguish in his face. He just wanted to show up and play a game of Legacy where he could cast a Spirit Monger. And meanwhile, I'm looking at this laughing. I turn, and I see Patrick Sullivan actually rolling on the floor laughing.
That was me.
You were the Spirit Mongers in that guy's hand? That's a little graphic.
That's what you get.
So, looks like the players are about to get ready for Game 2. We saw a little under an hour ago, Lawrence Creech boarded in a Trinket Mage, Nihil Spellbomb, and maybe an Elixir of Immortality sideboard plan against the Solar Flare decks.
So Chris probably brought in maybe some Revoke Existence. We saw that in some sideboard list. Not sure if it's in his list, but
Yeah, we haven't
breathing
gotten
vibes.
the deck lists all sorted and collected yet. It's going to be interesting to go through the top 32 deck lists and the people who played in the standard portion, see what changes they made
Yeah.
from event to event. I know that I was talking to Tim Landau, and he said that he modified his list for he's like, well, if I'm going to be playing against all these more established players and people who know what's up, he's like, I don't have to have my list as biased against aggro as I did for the first 7 rounds today. It's like I had my deck heavily biased against aggro decks, and I don't expect there to be a lot of aggro decks in this top 32. So my deck is more biased against control. I have fewer timely reinforcements, more consecrated sphinxes, that kind of thing.
So Chris Mulligan's his first hand, going down to 6 now. Looks like Lawrence kept.
Sounds like John Becker's on his way back to the convention center. Maybe we can get him to sit in for a couple games of this, at least 2 rounds,
Sounds
basking in his filthy Phillies win over the
Why
St.
do
Louis
you
Cardinals.
why do you want the
keeping track of
Cardinals
that?
to win?
What?
Why do you want the Cardinals to win?
I don't actually care if the Cardinals win
Why don't you want the Phillies to win?
because they're the Phillies.
The Phillies.
They just hate all sports teams from Philadelphia.
You're a Mets fan, right? They
No,
didn't
it has
make the
nothing to do with
playoffs.
that. Like, they're 2 independent things. I hate all Philadelphia sports teams.
Okay. What about Boston sports teams?
I don't hate them.
You're okay with the Red Sox?
Yeah,
You're okay with like the Patriots?
yeah, I like the Patriots.
Really? You like them better than the Jets?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't really care for the Jets. I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, okay.
Just pure hatred for the Philadelphia, the city itself too, or just a sports
No,
team?
no, no.
The Reading Terminal Market?
The sports teams.
All right.
You know, it's kind of like some people believe in mythical beings because their parents and because their grandparents believed in them. I believe in hating Philadelphia sports teams because my father and my grandfather hated them.
Well,
I
Lawrence,
don't actually understand it, but it was written in a book and read to me, and therefore I believe it.
Brian. Listen here.
Lawrence Creech starts off
Tell
with
me about
a.
those terrible Philadelphia Flyers. What a brutal, savage team of goons they are. Okay, Daddy.
Whatever you
I
say.
hate them. I love the Rangers.
Lawrence Creech starts off with a turn 2 birthing
Whatever.
pod.
That's actually pretty exciting.
Yeah. I don't follow sports that much, so all I know is that the Cubs didn't make the playoffs for another year.
They didn't make a playoffs a couple months ago, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Got used to that.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So he parlays his bird into a
Emissary.
emissary.
Start looking pretty good for Lawrence here.
So is this the portion of the broadcast where Drew Levin likes to hover around until he tries to get his way into the booth?
Not happening.
Yeah.
No.
All right, there's a revoke.
Oh, revoke existence.
Not
Oh,
revoke,
divine
divine
offering.
offering.
Divine offering on Birthing Pod.
And that's a card that went out of vogue after Stoneforge Mystic and Jason Mind Sculptor got banned, but maybe now we're going to see it with perhaps more birthing pod decks, some more equipment decks maybe, I don't know. Do you think that Revoke Existence is better than Divine Offering in this format?
I think if you're trying to kill maybe things that are going to come back with a Sun Titan, then it could be.
Sure. I mean, it also gets rid of Tempered Steel, which, I mean, we didn't see very much Tempered Steel
Right,
today,
Revoke
but...
Existence also hits enchantments, right? Which Divine Offering
Right,
does not.
yeah.
So I prefer Revoke Existence.
Yeah. Solemn Smallcrum for Lawrence, and a Liliana drawn for Lachmann.
It's like, okay. Do it.
It's a drawn Catacomb.
Yep, Liliana of the Veil.
He's going to discard. Yep. Discard Elish Norton.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling.
A little sick to my stomach here.
Discard Wormcoil Engine on Lawrence's side.
Unfortunately, Lawrence doesn't have any sick reanimation like Lachmann probably does. See a Gideon in Lachmann's hand?
Venser
Oh
Solemn.
boy. I mean, Solemn's not going to be around for much longer. If Lachmann does have an Unburial
He
Rights.
has to have land on burial rights.
I see a Liliana and a Gideon. I don't know what his third card is. He did draw a land, he drew a Swamp. His third card's a Wormcoil Engine, so no Unburial Rights, but...
But, you know, that Elish Norton's just sitting there tucked away for a rainy day.
Yep.
Oh,
Like
there's
you do
Gideon.
when you need it.
He's calling them to fight.
It's kind of interesting is he can always untap his creature with the Venser. Pick which one I want you to be able to kill if you're going to kill one.
There you go. Gideon
Is he
drops.
attacking? Oh, he has to attack Gideon, of course.
Let's see if Lawrence has something else to follow up. Just going to flash the Solemn, it looks like.
Cast
But
Arcana
has Arcana
Justice.
Justice.
Oh, boy.
Lachmann's in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Ellis
Yeah,
Norn
Arcana
not looking
Justice
as good
is just
now.
one of those cards that fits so perfectly into the band pod.
Now, Arcana of Justice, it triggers when it goes when it dies. When it dies.
Yeah. My dream is to eat an Archon with my birthing pod and go get Reaper from the Abyss. Boom, boom. Not that anyone ever has 2 creatures and play to kill, but
One could dream, right?
yeah.
Now, Chris. Let's see what Chris could do here. He does have a way to bring back Ellis Norn, but it's not looking as good now. Probably still necessary, though.
He drew the Unburial Rites.
Yeah, I think that there's no other black card I could think that looks like that.
Burial Rights, get back a Lachmann. You have a computer right there.
Scoop.
So Ellis Norn does come out. There is a Wormcoil Engine in Chris's hand, and don't think another land though. Chris hasn't activated his Gideon yet. Did he? No, he didn't.
No, yeah.
Okay.
We'll activate Gideon.
Oh, and I'm forgetting Venser's very close to going ultimate. What is Venser's ultimate? Is it 8?
8, I believe.
So just one more pump up. And Venser goes. Ooh, Phantasmal Image on Ellis Norn. That's not good. Now Gideon's going to go down.
Gideon. Is that a birthing pod? No, it's a Throne.
Probably.
Untap a land.
It seems like it'd be better just to untap your Archon, so Gideon.
That's okay.
Yeah. If Gideon kills it, I guess you get rid of their land too.
I mean, there's still an Unburial Rites in the yard there. So he's going to be able to flash it back this turn and get the Ellis Norn back.
Yeah.
But, man.
Yeah, this the Venser's going to blow up next turn. Pretty sure I could assume. So Gideon, Chris, think of what to do about Gideon because
You can't animate and try to kill. I mean, he's actually really the main thing here is now try to deal with that Venser.
yeah,
I don't think, like, once Venser goes ultimate, I don't know how you can win.
Venser is going ultimate.
is there a Oblivion Ring in his hand, and Chris just wants to make sure he does the optimal play. I don't know what that is. It might be an Oblivion Ring. That would be his only hope, really. Otherwise, his game's going to get out of hand.
I think he has a Liliana. That's also not
Yeah.
Yeah, Liliana's
terribly
going to.
useful here.
Arkan's just going to jump out of the way, and Gideon's will go away after that.
Archon seems to be a tough card for the
Okay, get your Archon,
Solar Flare decks to
kill
deal
land.
with.
So Chris floats one.
Maybe the Solar Flare decks want to play Archon of Justice. Like, is a one of?
Exile the land, which is relevant.
Now here's a Liliana.
Sack your guy.
But Ultimate Venser seems like, as long as Lawrence has
A
spells to
spell.
play,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not like Liliana. Oh boy.
the spell that keeps it coming back and removes a creature, or a permanent, due to Venser.
What do you hit here? I guess you have to
Get rid of the
Liliana.
You just
Liliana.
get rid of the Liliana. You don't get rid of the lands.
For now, I mean, like,
You have a spell. You can deal with Ellis Norn
Yeah.
next turn. And these
Grave
things are
Titan.
exiled, which is kind of a big deal against the Solar Flare deck.
Looks like Unburial Rights is going to bring back a Lachmann, but
Yeah.
but as long
does
as
he
Lawrence
have a
has another spell, yeah. Looks like he does.
spell is this time?
Acidic
Oh,
slime.
boy.
Acidic slime. And it gets a land.
And he gets to rebuy it with Venser.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's probably the best thing he could have played right there. And I think we're going to go to sideboarding very soon.
Yeah. By the way, you have no blue. I don't
And
know.
you're losing a permanent a turn and taking 5 a turn.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
We're going to game 3 here.
Game 3.
Ooh, you really get to see the power of Vampod there.
This is an exciting game 3. It is single elimination. And every win you start off with $75 and start doubling it up with
Close to double. Yeah.
close
Well,
to
it's
double or more than
$150
double.
here, right?
I thought it was 175.
I just said it was
Oh,
more
yeah.
than double. You're right.
For this one, the next
Yeah.
rounds I think are just.
Right, 350 and then 750.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is actually, we're in the Pro Tour side of a very famous outlier Pro Tour in terms of formats. It was the Skins game.
The Skins one. Gadiel won that one.
Right, so we have a little bit of a Skins game going on here.
The best part of the Gadiel thing is on his Facebook wall, he's got the picture of him holding the check. And the first comment is like one of his college friends, like, wow, you won that much money? And the next comment is like a Magic player, it's like, wow, you won a Pro Tour and you won only that much? You won like 25K? He's just like,
Yeah, I remember him complaining about that. Like, figures I'd win the Pro Tour where you could make the least money winning, but you still can't complain about it.
yeah.
There's your best friend over there. Run away. Doesn't look like either player are making any adjust. Oh, Lawrence is. Chris is just ready to go.
Like, Nine Hill Spellbomb.
Oh, I forgot to pour this one in. Oops. I peer over to Rusty, and I wasn't even paying attention to his computer, but he's got a notepad open, and he nudges me, he's like, werewolves.
Rusty is our computer guy here, and the whole day he's been looking at red and green cards on Gatherer. He just looking up every red and green card in Standard, and now he has his werewolf build ready.
Rusty is also part of a famous crime-fighting duo known as
waiting-
Rusty and Ray.
I'm waiting for the pilot.
We are
of this show.
quite amazing. We can solve any mystery.
Wait, I got a question. Are they better than Fat Psych? You and Rashad?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
you guys-
Fat Psych's obviously better.
I mean, it's a pretty good TV show, so probably top 5 TV shows of all
I
time.
do like Fat Psych.
Fat Psych. Psych sucks. Fat Psych's awesome.
I actually like Psych. I love it. It's actually my favorite TV show.
Yeah, it is the solar flare.
It's the solar flare TV show, best TV show ever. How about this? Every round I play solar flare, you have to watch an episode of Psych.
I mean, I've seen enough episodes of Psych that I would probably have to play quite a few rounds.
Yeah. Concede.
Yeah, you can't just blind hate it, right?
Chris Lachmann is on the play. Definitely saw some people in this new mono red with the new mono red decks.
Uh-huh.
I saw players drawing in the mirror there in Standard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
An old school technology type
Yeah.
thing.
Drowned Catacomb over for Chris.
Hinterland Harbor. I love that land.
I know. I just like looking at all the enemy colored these type of lands. I don't know what you'd call them. Enemy colored. Sometimes tap lands.
Yeah. M11 lands.
There
They
you go.
came out in M10, right?
Or M10 lands, yeah. We got a
Ponder.
Ponder.
Earlier when I was walking around, people were talking about modern decks and how they don't have a modern deck. They're like, but we all have standard decks, and that's modern, and the tournament's free. Like, I guess we'll play these.
So this is a slow start for Lawrence compared to last game where he had to turn to Birthing Pod.
Not much action from Chris. Maybe we'll see like an end of turn Forbidden Alchemy or something.
Yeah, I think oh, no.
Oblivion Ring picked up. Is Chris going to miss a land drop? Oh, no, he does have a land drop.
Isolated Sanctuary, is that the name of that one?
Yes, the black-white land is isolated
I
sanctuary.
keep wanting to call it Godless Shrine.
Sure, you can call it Godless Shrine. People know what you're talking about.
I keep wanting to cast turn 1 Ismar, turn 2 Dark Confidant.
There's a Blade Splicer. 6.
Phantasmal Image over there for Chris.
He's like, why, thank you. No? He's going to play
Forbidden Alchemy.
main phase.
Alright, so we see Liliana and 3 lands. Looks like Chris doesn't have a land drop for this turn, and he does have a bunch of 6 drops. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he took a land here.
Especially like if I think there's a Sun Titan in his hand, so like a 6-drop that he will cast soon will be a Sun Titan to bring back Liliana anyway.
Chris also has a Phantasmal Image, so he could play it here, chump block, and then bring that back with Sun Titan.
So Lawrence going to crash in here for 4, dropping Lachmann down to 16. And play Phantasmal Image. Capping Blade Splicer, getting another 3/3. I can only assume. Isolated Chapel, sorry, not Isolated Sanctuary.
So what happened while I was away getting the top 24 deck lists from the Swiss rounds?
Phantasmal Image came down, copying Blade Splicer
Sure.
for Creech.
And Divine Offering takes out one of the tokens.
And Lachmann just drew on Burial Rites. Unfortunately, his graveyard's not particularly stocked.
So we fully expect Chris just to play a Sun Titan here. Oh no, it's a Wormcoil Engine.
Passes the turn back. I wonder why he didn't cast Sun Titan there. Is there some reason why Wormcoil is better? It's not like he's that close to being dead, but
Venser?
I mean, Sun Titan's better against Venser, right? Maybe. I mean, Grave Titan's actually the best one against Venser.
So Blade Splicer gets flashed in and out by Venser. Adds another token to the field. Chris does have Grave Titan in his hand.
That's new. A new one.
Alright, so Sun Titan brings back Liliana. Liliana does a double discard, or does a discard for both of them.
Yeah. You see, Elixir of Immortality was a boarded card for Creech that he discards to Liliana here.
Want to get in there?
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
You can go in here. So Patrick Sullivan joining us here in the booth.
Hello.
How's it going?
All right, well, it's going fine. I watched whatever tournament's going on there. Watched Tim Landale play like a complete boob and still win his top 24 match or whatever is going on over
Top
there.
32,
Top
yeah.
30 top 32 match.
And here we have Lachmann versus Creech.
The creature. What game are we on now?
Game 3.
Okay.
Lachmann with the Solar Flare deck and
Yep.
Creech with Vamp Pod. Creech ultimated Venser last game to win.
Where's his loyalties at 5 now?
Yep.
Does Lachmann have any goodies in the graveyard for Sun Titan?
I think he's got just land, looks like. Yeah, just land. So not really. I mean, I think Lachmann also has a Grave Titan in hand. Maybe I would have played Grave Titan over Sun Titan if that's actually the case, because you need to start taking down Venser's loyalty before it gets out of hand. Venser's one of those planeswalkers that it's like very easy for it to creep up on you, like how quickly it's getting to where it needs to be.
Especially since it's often defending you as you're going up in loyalty.
Yeah, like making sure your creatures are untapped or getting more creatures in this case, right? Where Blade Splicer keeps bumming out 3/3s. So now Lachmann has to think about how he can start getting Venser down.
So are these basically the first relatively high visibility set of events with the new standard format?
I mean, this is the first day that it's legal.
Oh, wow, okay.
The set officially came out yesterday night.
Cool.
So,
So it's kind of fitting that Patrick Sullivan's in the booth with us as I find out that of the 24 decks that finished at the top of the Swiss, the best performing deck is Mono Red.
Can I see the list?
There's 7 of them.
Okay.
this is from the top 24 or not?
This is the top 24. This is not the decks that are being played right now.
Okay.
They could have switched.
Sure.
And it looks like the second most popular deck of the top 24 was Blue-White, although these seem wildly disparate.
Yeah.
From like aggro sword decks to more control-y versions. 3 pod decks. 2 just blue-black control decks. 2 pure steel paladin decks. Oh, these are the birthing pod decks. The other one, I'm not sure what that was.
So a relatively good sampling of kind of the old standard / block constructed decks.
One tempered steel deck.
Yeah.
And then one deck that I hope this guy doesn't get eliminated, because I want to see this deck in action next round. A Shape Anew deck.
Ooh. Fancy.
Wow, this is not a red deck, and it got a woo from Patrick Sullivan.
I mean, Shape Anew is some fancy action.
Blade Splicers, Wing Splicers, Grand Abolishers, Phantasmal Image, Gideon, Venser.
The big boy.
Big Blade Steel Colossus. He's got 2 of them in case he draws one.
You always draw one.
Right. That's what they're there for.
So Lachmann's Wormcoil Engine died and got 2 tokens. Now he's tapping 6 mana for Grave Titan. But Venser's already up at 7, right? So if Lawrence is able to
somehow survive
this next attack, I don't see it happening. So maybe Lawrence should be focusing more on like a world without Venser, how he wins that game, and still that seems tough for him.
Yeah, Lachmann's board is getting pretty dominating as long as he doesn't get punked out by Venser's ultimate.
Actually, the card that I think he really needs a birthing pod so he can go get Stoneforge Dignitary and just lock this game up tight.
Yep.
That'd be so good for Creech here. Tapping 5 for Archon of Justice. That one doesn't quite do it.
What do you know about Creech? I know he's got a top 8 at the Pro Tour.
He teamed with my very good friend Eugene Harvey at Eugene's first team Pro Tour, along with Roger Sereno.
Wow!
Yeah, that's a nice little piece of trivia for you. They were the East Coast Creatures. And I feel like Lawrence must have had at least 1 or 2 Grand Prix top 8s back in the early 2000s.
Lachmann, on the other hand, has he top 8 at a Grand Prix since PT San Diego?
That feels like a leading question.
I don't actually know.
I don't believe so, but I could be wrong.
Well, Lachmann's kind of become like a PTQ end boss around these parts.
Yeah.
I remember when Neutral Ground was still open a couple years back. I was playing at a Friday Night Magic. And the guy comes in and he's playing, and I'm like, I just had to get out of my local store. I couldn't play there anymore. Kept playing PT winners every time at my local Friday Night Magic. I'd play Lachmann, play Van Lunen. Usopp was there once. Just like, BS. I'm tired of playing Pro Tour winners. Sure enough, he gets paired up against Mikey P round 1.
Yep.
They beat him though.
It looked like Lachmann used. Looked like he used
the
Liliana to Edict before combat, and Creech sacked his Archon and got the Grave Titan out of there. And Lachmann hesitated, like he didn't anticipate that line, so.
I thought maybe he was going to sacrifice the Blade Splicer.
Probably didn't just register. It probably just didn't register to him that he was going to lose his Titan in that sequence.
And everyone's attacking.
I think Lachmann's just going to the face, just hoping that it doesn't matter.
So this ends. He's going to have a token.
Well, it appears that Creech is blocking in such a way to protect his Fencer.
Yeah.
So I assume Lachmann probably just sent everything there.
Why did it looks like Vencer's at 9? Like why didn't Creech just ultimate last turn?
Because he got it to 9 last turn.
Isn't it ultimate 8?
Yeah,
right, so he went to 7 and
twos.
9. It jumps in
goes up in
2s.
twos.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So there's a Sun Titan living and a token living. And there's still that issue of a Liliana in play.
But if Fencer goes ultimate and Creech has any sort of reasonable follow-up, I mean, that should be
Right.
enough to seal it pretty quickly from here.
He looks like he's got 3 cards in his hand.
Alright, so we're going to take out one of the Blade Splicer tokens here.
I thought they all died in that attack. Only one of them blocked in on bigger than 3 power guy, right?
He's going to unburial rights back something.
I guess Lachmann wanted to use the Liliana before combat because he had no other Sun Titan targets.
Right.
This is probably what led him down that road.
Unburial rights back.
Rebuys on the Worm Coil.
And then is there something else he can flashback as well?
And
No,
Creech
doesn't look
cannot
like it.
untap fast enough.
Like once ultimate.
Yep.
We have an
Fencer here.
emblem.
I will play this Bird of Paradise.
Yeah.
It is the mightiest Bird of Paradise you've ever seen. Oh
Ugh,
god.
this is gonna get worse before it gets better.
Hello, Sun Titan.
Yep, Birds of Paradise, taking out Liliana. Sacrifice Birds of Paradise, go get, what, Verdian Emissary? Oh, Phantasmal Image, obviously, yeah.
Sure, that's, you know.
I was wondering why he didn't get that Sun Titan there.
Bring back Phantasmal Image. Bring back, what, Blade Splicer?
This is just...
This is not a bad turn. This is not a bad turn.
See, you might not have to play solo Flare Bang. You could play Backpod.
Yeah.
This has been a mighty... Like, the last 2 rounds we've watched Creech play, it's been quite the endorsement for Vencer.
Yep.
Vencer's just been doing ridiculous heavy lifting for him. Like, games where it didn't seem like he was winning even remotely, and then Vencer showed up and bad things happened.
I know that in Japan, like when Scars of Mirrodin came out, all the Japanese players jammed Vencer in their blue-white decks. They were in love with it, but over here, nobody was playing Vencer.
They got a lot of play in Triple Scar's block constructed.
Sure. I
Where
mean,
people
that's
were
simply
doing,
because
like,
it's a
weirdly
Planeswalker.
circular,
Right.
like...
The raw power level is pretty high, but
I know that for a while, Kenji endorsed a deck that was all like Proliferate and Charge Counter and Vencer, a blue-white deck like that, when Stoneforge Mystic was still around, but...
I just think in the Squadron Hawk world, it's sort of hard to justify playing a 5-cost Planeswalker that doesn't protect itself in any way.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the odds that it just gets picked off close for free is too high.
You saw it getting a little bit of play at the end of that because they would run the...
All right, so we have a day adjustment from Lachmann, so he's basically banking on, I guess, Creech just having no spells for the rest of the game.
Well,
I mean, he's got Unburial rights to bring back Sun Titan. It
Sure, but
only gets back a
yeah,
land.
that's not going to get him very far here.
And I see a Thrun along with a
I just see
negate in Creech's
spells.
hand. Yeah.
It appears they are not lands, so
7 mana. A Lachmann, yeah.
sure.
It really needed to remove something while it went along. Lachmann draws. Looked like a land.
Gruesome.
I mean, that's sort of the best part about set rotation is, oppressive cards leave the format, and you get to kind of go back and analyze cards that fell short for, context-related reasons and not just raw power level. And Venser's definitely one of those cards where, if someone told you this card is showing up in Constructed, you wouldn't be surprised. It just wasn't quite the right environment for it
I think
for the last year.
I think Tezzeret Agent of Bolus is another card you're going to see like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially since all those artifacts that have like velocity of drawing a land or drawing a card or doing whatever, like are still around.
Yes.
Looks like Lachmann's going to take Liliana from Forbidden Alchemy.
Yep.
Yep.
Cast it and get rid of the Lachmann, but that's going to get negated. And what is he going to remove?
Oh my god.
Even if that Liliana resolves, I mean, Lachmann's just kind of spinning his wheels here. He has no way to get out from underneath what's happening.
He's hoping for just like running cards, right? Like a lot of lands. Right?
And
Thrun, get rid of a land.
So is he working a color there, or is he just working from left to right?
yeah, I would let Lachmann pick.
Lachmann drew Day of Judgment, but Day of Judgment does not take care of Thrun.
Wow, that's awesome.
I learned.
Regeneration matters.
It's like the third time around.
Oh my, we're close to double emblem.
Do they stack?
Yeah, you can double emblem.
Is that really necessary?
You might as well. I mean, you get so few opportunities to do like stuff like that in your life.
Like if your
especially on camera.
opponent's not going to concede.
Right.
It's like a royal flush.
Right. You got to show it.
Do they bring out? Does the tournament organizer bring out like a special jacket, a set of chips?
Nope,
And
that's enough
taps
for
the
Lachmann.
mat.
Lachmann's going to take his $75 and go home.
So, okay.
I think Lachmann's team was the one that got 5th place, I believe, in the team competition. So there we go. We see Lawrence Creech win the first round, the top 32 here at the MTG Grudge match.